Hello everyone. Our channel selects viewpoints and analytical articles from think tanks and well-known figures within the Chinese internet and presents them to Western readers so that everyone can understand how China thinks. If you find this helpful, please subscribe, hit the like button, and share our channel. Thank you. It should be emphasized that the content we present reflects only the original author's views. Our aim is merely to enhance readers' understanding of perspectives from the Chinese intellectual and policy-making circles. In the upcoming fourth plenary session of the 20th Central Committee, two major themes will dominate the agenda. One is the 15th Five-Year Economic Plan, which we discussed in yesterday's program. The other is the Sinicization of religion, with Islam obviously being the central focus of this discussion in reality. Below is a representative analysis written by a Chinese netizen, well representing the typical Chinese way of thinking. Here is the title of the original article: Eliminating Islamic Extremism and Advancing the Sinicization of Islam. Starting from the issue of smoking and drinking, this is not a matter of personal lifestyle, but a serious political issue. Original date of publishing, July 7, 2025. Among the world's major religions, almost all allow for freedom of entry and exit. Only one religion has historically shown extremely strong bloodline exclusivity and identity permanence: Islam. According to this religious worldview, if your father is a Muslim, then you are considered a Muslim, whether you agree or not. If you try to leave the faith, the religious legal system attempts to pull you back, at best leading to social death. At worst, in some countries, it results in a death sentence. As with the Christian Inquisition in medieval Europe, every religion contains a struggle between fundamentalism and modernization. The phenomenon of generalized halal in northwest China is essentially a product of infiltration by foreign extremist ideologies, according to a 2014 case uncovered in Xinjiang. An extremist group used illegal preaching to label women who did not wear a veil or shops that sold cigarettes and alcohol as apostates. The Communist Party of China, in its document Basic Views and Policies on Religious Issues During the Socialist Period, clearly states the four absolutes. Religion must never be allowed to interfere with state administration, judicial affairs, school education, or public education. No one, especially minors under 18, may be forced to join a religion, become clergy, or study in temples. The restoration of abolished religious privileges or systems of oppression must never be allowed. Religion must never be used to oppose the party's leadership, the socialist system, national unity, or ethnic solidarity. These four no allows serve as a red line, a strong defense safeguarding national sovereignty. However, in reality, some Islamic extremists, under the banner of faith, treat Saudi Arabia or other Islamic countries as their spiritual homeland, regard themselves as diaspora living in China, and even absurdly believe their blood contains noble Arab lineage. They view fellow Chinese citizens of different faiths as impure infidels and consider Syrians, Palestinians, or Saudis who share their faith as their true brothers. This viewpoint betrays the Chinese tradition of patriotism and the historical reality of a unified, multi-ethnic nation. What's worse, under the slogan of love the country, love the religion, they have demanded that the government build religious structures for them. But once the government, in accordance with the law and public interest, renovates or modifies these buildings, they incite crowds to obstruct law enforcement. Is that what they call patriotism? We must refute such fallacies with moral confidence, and those who incite resistance to lawful government actions must be punished by law. The louder hostile forces cry, and the more they twist facts, the more it proves that the Sinicization reforms are hitting the target. We must remain firm and complete these reforms in accordance with the law. Smoking, drinking, and the clash between secular life and religious extremism. Smoking and drinking may appear to be personal lifestyle or health choices, but they actually reflect the deep conflict between Islamic extremism and secularization. Take Lanzhou noodle shops and Xinjiang kebab restaurants. Why is alcohol prohibited in most Lanzhou beef noodle shops, but Xinjiang barbecue stalls often sell the local beer brand? Behind this lies a complex historical and social process. Before 2007, most ethnic minorities in Xinjiang did not abstain from tobacco or alcohol, but under the influence of foreign extremist ideologies, certain individuals began using religious rules to constrain believers and resist secularization, an expression of Islamic extremism. One of the key indicators of secularization in a region or community is its attitude towards smoking, alcohol, and other ordinary comforts of life. Questions such as, can halal restaurants sell alcohol? Can people smoke inside? Are customers allowed to bring pork into the restaurant? Can Muslims work in a Han-owned restaurant? Can people of different faiths sit together and share a meal? For example, at a table with braised pork trotters, Muslims can eat the soybeans while non-Muslims eat the pork. Today, almost every Han Chinese restaurant in Xinjiang employs ethnic minority staff. This is deeply meaningful. Not only does it provide employment, but it also promotes ethnic unity. Real ethnic unity is never one-sided compromise. It is based on mutual respect, tolerance, and understanding. Sinicization of Islam in Xinjiang, a transformative process. Islam in Xinjiang has gone through a turbulent journey. Problems that the current could not solve in the past have now been effectively addressed during the process of Sinicization. The party and government encourage Muslims to first love the country. The party, life, family, and themselves then apply religion to cultivate moral behavior and goodness. This has renewed the entire religious atmosphere. Even tobacco companies played a role. In rural Xinjiang, extremist forces once forbade villagers from selling tobacco or alcohol, smashing shops that did. In response, tobacco firms helped local shopkeepers obtain proper licenses and open stores. This helped villagers escape poverty, and cigarette sales also became an indicator for detecting extremist influence when sales dropped sharply. Authorities know to be vigilant. Core standard of religious sinicization and secularization. Own core measure of whether religion has been sinicized is this: does it respect others' customs and rights, rather than forcing others to respect its own? In Chinese society, diverse yet unified, every ethnic group and believer has the right to keep their customs and faith. But they must also respect the rights and freedoms of others. The Sinicization of Islam is an ongoing process of adaptation to Chinese society, respecting other cultures, accepting secular norms, and operating within the framework of state law, never as a tool of division. Eliminating Islamic extremism and advancing the Sinicization of Islam is a long and challenging mission. Yet from ordinary details like smoking and drinking, we see both the collisions between extremism and secular life, and the hope of transformation. Only by firmly promoting the adaptation of religion to socialist society and resolutely combating extremism can we build a harmonious, stable, and diverse society, an essential foundation for national security and lasting peace.